Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Moving the Needle podcast, where we ask, what moves you? Excellent or bogus? Did anyone do the right thing? Do you mess with the Zohan? With me tonight to discuss Do the Right Thing, Rocky vs. Creed, childhood, guilty pleasures, a test of time, you don't mess with the Zohan, once upon a time in Hollywood. With me tonight is Stephanie.
Hello.
Roy. Hello. And Henno. Yo, we want to thank you for listening on iTunes. We're also available on Spotify, just about everywhere you can find podcasts. We are, so come on now, Google Let Play. Us know. Email us at mtnpodcast@gmail.com or on facebook.com/mtnpod. Twitter and tweet us at mtnpod. There's so many ways to find us.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a spurter. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 437.
Sexiest podcast on the network, Brian.
Yep.
How the hell are you, my friend?
Eh.
I could play that.
Nah, I covered it pretty well. I mean, it can't sound any better than what I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Works every time. That's right, Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Works every time.
Works every time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just kind of blah today. I think it's just just the time of year, like the weather and stuff here. Just is pretty depressing. So it's like, they're talking.
It was oddly mild and kind of sunny yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was. I was out a little bit yesterday. That was nice.
Which was weird.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like, I think they're saying it's going to be like mid-40s for Christmas Eve. So
that's so bizarre.
We're going to have looks like another warm Christmas. They're talking a little bit of snow tomorrow, like not much, a couple 3 inches or something, I think's what I read. And,
right.
part of me is kind of like, on one hand, it's like, ugh, because it could be, 1 micro inch of snow and, people all of a sudden are like, oh my God, what is this? And freak out and clean out the grocery store and drive
off the road.
Yeah.
There's fires everywhere.
Yeah.
People are shooting their neighbors.
Yeah, it gets nutty. So,
yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like, well, at least the snow, at least, when it's fresh, it's bright and it kind of, puts a nice clean.
It looks nice.
Yeah, for a day or so before it turns to mush. But, so at least there's that, I guess.
I'm a fan of like when it first snows.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, when I was growing up, my dad always wanted to shovel snow in like the middle of the night. I still kind of have that in me.
Right.
So, but there's something like, it's just like, it's kind of nice because it's so quiet.
Yeah.
Because, all that fresh powder like absorbs all the sound.
Yeah.
And
well, and plus, like you said, in the middle of the night,
like,
nobody else is really out there doing it. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't have a snowblower, so you just heard like,
Yeah. 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 I did that a few times.
There's something about that I always dug.
When I lived at the last place, I did it a few times, because Jen had to work or leave for work so early. So there were a few times I went out at like, 4 a.m. and shoveled snow because I'm wide awake and get all my energy, so. And, you think about it, it makes sense because the best time to do an energy where you could absolutely throw your back out and or have a heart attack, the best time to do it's when there's no one around and awake, Yeah.
Okay, you'll be fine. Yeah, right. Face down in the snow, you'll get preserved.
Yeah. Like, well...
it's pretty cool.
At least he left a good corpse, Like...
At least he left a good corpse.
Yeah, at least we can have an open
casket.
I'm glad
I just randomly decided to pull up Facebook, Brian.
That's something you won't say often.
I know, but our friend Big Dev apparently sent us something.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah, so I'm going to say thanks, mate, and send it to him because he's online right now.
All right.
And then he can listen to us when he listens to the show.
Wow.
I'll just add it to my things to talk about.
I feel like that's meta, but I don't know if it is.
Oh, okay. It's not quite a news story. I'm just going to throw it out there real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because, celebrity voice of salty language, Mystical.
Danger!
Oh, boy.
Danger!
Yeah.
Says, it's, from Mr. Throwback Thursday on Facebook. Shake your ass, but wash it first. Or whatever Mystical said. Fast rapping ass.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I love that.
There you go.
I definitely love that. I have tweeted various times over the years, about the importance of washing one's ass. So
it's super duper important.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, that's just cracking me up now because I'm picturing, back when that was like one of the hot tracks at the strip clubs. You just picture if he really was saying "shake your ass" or "watch yourself shake
wash your ass."
Wash your ass. Just a whole different story.
That would be goddamn funny.
Yeah. Who knew? A creep like Mystical was actually out there, trying to spread hygiene.
He's out there trying to save lives.
I don't think he is, but
he might be.
I don't know. He's out there on that. Was that No Limit reunion or whatever? So.
Did they do a No Limit reunion?
Yeah, I think it's current.
Wouldn't it be cool if they limited the No Limit reunion? If it was No Limit reunion, then it said a limited engagement.
Right.
That would be
Wait a minute.
fucking incredible.
How dare Yeah, it's at some small club or something with can only put 100 people in there.
Right, exactly.
But in typical small club fashion, they'll fit about 270 in there.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Oh, boy.
I think we need to. Sorry, because I'm I realized there's a couple links I haven't pulled up before we started since my computer was being a shit face.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide something, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've got some stuff on FacePage, and one of them was an answer to our past QoftheW.
Okay. I actually have.
I just found.
I actually have answers from. I have answers from Fluffy Bunny Ash that are from past ones too. So.
Fair enough, but what I'm saying is, how do we just disregard Facebook and direct our people to other platforms?
Well, we could just quit posting on Facebook. That would be the easiest.
I guess that's
way.
true.
It's funny because
I don't know about you. I go to Facebook once a week now, and it's when we do this show.
Right. I'm not on there much.
My mom's like, "Oh my God, did you see your cousin on Facebook?" And I went, "No."
Yeah, I do that a lot too.
I did not, Mom.
My mom will ask me if I saw whatever. I'm like, honestly, I go on there, I look at my notifications, and then usually I go right back off. Occasionally I'll scroll.
Typically, if I start that scroll, I get angry.
Yeah. I honestly, since Facebook's become, for a long time there, it was just pretty much everything I was scrolling was politics related or just stuff I don't care about. So I was just like, what am I doing here?
That's how I feel. It's like when you're driving on the road and you pass garbage dumps. You're like,
I immediately just dive right in.
Yeah, I try to get to the office to find the landfill gift shop, get a sweet shirt.
Do you think do garbage dumps have lost and found?
That would be amazing.
Do you have a lost and found? Be like, they just point out to the dump, yeah.
I guess.
Sure. Take whatever you want as long as it's not marked sharps or biohazard.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or AIDS, probably stay away from that.
No, they
stuff.
can have all that.
No, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, weirdly, oddly enough, today all you can carry AIDS needles. Not allowed to use a bag though. Bare hands only.
Oh no, exactly.
Yeah.
Bare hands, no gloves.
Right.
Gotta go in barefooted.
Right. In fact, you have to put here's a loincloth. This is all you're allowed to wear. Good luck.
Yeah, what is this? It's our AIDS needle collecting cloth. Did I put the needles in it? No, you wear it on your junk.
Yeah, and you have to roll around to collect the needles. Oh. You're actually not allowed to grab any.
Whatever sticks, you keep.
Yeah. Jesus. What a terrible policy. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to that place. Policy. Yeah.
No, exactly. Not when I can just walk around the streets find it for free.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Oh, man. I used to think it was funny. Did you ever find any rando needles when you worked at the video stores?
Oh, yeah. I would find needles and bullets and all kinds of fun shit.
Oh, bullets. Wow. That's one I haven't found.
Yeah, there was a couple times I was out there and I found bullets in the park going. I'm like, that's amazing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Needles I found a lot. Sometimes just sitting on the shelf. Used. And I'm assuming most of the time they're probably insulin type ones. Somebody did their insulin.
One would hope.
Yeah. Given the kind of needles they wear and stuff, but who knows? Because, it's so tough because most of the video stores I worked in were in areas where they were more affluent neighborhoods. One I worked at and was absolutely not. Well, at the time, now it actually wouldn't be too bad. But at the time it was not a good scene. But
yeah, I mean, which one I worked at. Mm-hmm. It was not a good scene.
It is very similar to the one I worked at on Secor. The clientele was the same basically. And yeah, I'm actually surprised I never found anything like bullets. I mean, obviously you find, various condoms and whatever. So, which was a little surprising.
It's a thing that makes me want to do a Ultimate Warrior Gorilla Press slam into the AIDS needle vat
What's that?
It is used like diapers.
Yeah.
Like if you're throwing your shit diaper out in the parking lot for it to get rained on and me to attempt to sweep up.
Oh, dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That There's
happens.
A special little spot of hatred in my heart for those people.
Yeah, that happens way more than it needs to, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. They need to be served up like a good old fashioned head kick.
Agreed. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just seriously, anything. You know, the other thing that always gets me is like I was at Wendy's last night with my brother, and as we were walking out to the car, like just right down there on the ground, there's like, 2 empty cups from Wendy's.
Right.
And I'm like, it's like, it cheeses me off like when I see carts 3 inches from the cart corral or something, where it's like, come on, like.
Yeah, like, how lazy are you?
It's like they had trash cans right out there. I mean, there was seriously a trash can not even 5 feet from there. I picked them up and threw them away because it just irritated me so much. But if they were full, I ain't touching them because who knows what's in them. But
oh boy, yeah, it could be 20 ounces of hot urine in there.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, I'll throw it at somebody. But as one does.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
as one does.
Oh man, speaking of Wendy's, we go in there last night.
Throwing hot urine? Oh, okay.
No, unfortunately, I don't have one of those stories in my life. We get in there and there's an older man working the counter at Wendy's and everything, and he was the nicest guy. Like, could not have been a nicer person, like didn't even just, a lot of the
goes to Dave Thomas.
No.
Oh, okay.
Didn't Rage Against the Machine have a song about that? They covered it? No, just kidding. Not at all.
Yes.
Anyway, this guy was super nice, but he, you could tell he was still pretty new, and he was pretty slow. And I don't think it was like an age slow thing. It was just he's being deliberate because he's probably trying not to screw up, because he's new.
Well, yeah.
And my brother has a coupon and didn't realize it was expired. But it was expired by, like, seriously, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days type of thing. So he was like, can I still use this? Because, you put this coupon in every flyer you guys send out, basically. And the guy goes, well, hold on, I have to go ask the manager. Okay, fine. He walks over. The manager was the rudest person. She just goes, give them whatever they want. And in my head, I'm going, well, then I'll take all my food for free then, you kind sir.
Yeah, exactly. This is an amazing coupon. Not only was my meal free, I got all the money in the register.
Right. But, so he, he rings it up everything. And, I gotta say, this is going to be a real dickhead moment here. But, okay, so to give a little backstory, for those who don't know, my brother wears a hearing aid. He is, he's supposed to wear 2, but he's too stubborn to wear 2. So he wears 1. And the guy working the counter was having a little trouble hearing him. So you basically had a, huh? What? Conversation going on. So I had to step in so that,
right.
But anyway, like I said, the guy was super nice, all this stuff. But because of being slow, like right after us, like, I don't know, 2,000 people came in and, he's not moving the line along very fast. And the manager actually walks over while there's people there and goes, you need to get faster. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh, my God.
And I just was like, and I even said it, I'm like, whoa. And the woman turned and she's like, is there a problem? I'm like, yeah, you're being really rude to him. Like, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it's like, seriously, if he's that slow, put his ass on fry duty or something. Like, have him go mop the floor or something. Get him out of the way for it. Like we would do at the video store when you're working with someone new. If all of a sudden there's this long line of customers, I'd be like, all right, newbie, get the hell out of the way. Let me robot mode this. And just boom, 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 get people out of there. like, she didn't put someone else up on a register to help him out. Nothing. This was seriously, this dude's going trial by fire right now. And I felt bad. And
What a goddamn twat.
I sent a thing to Wendy's about it, and was like, hey, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this isn't your corporate policy. Also,
yeah, right.
Dressing down an employee in front of a bunch of customers is incredibly unprofessional,
It's super unprofessional.
Yeah. Not to mention just a dick move, especially if somebody's newer, it's like, come on. So, anyway, but...
I don't think she's rich, but
Goddamn rich cunt!
Yeah, she was clearly...
Just saying.
Well, what was really funny was she was working the drive-thru window, right? Well, next thing you know, this guy comes in, because we were sitting in the place eating. This guy comes in,
right.
You can tell he is not a happy man. And when he gets to the counter, the older gentleman, how can I help you? And the guy's like, I need to talk to your manager. He's like, okay, he gets her. She comes to the counter, and the guy goes, yeah, I don't know who's working your counter, and or your, grill or whatever, making the sandwiches. He's like, but he goes, I ordered the Baconator, and I couldn't hear what else he said, and he goes, we got 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Were they at least mushed together in some sort of Baconator costume?
No, and the thing is, for anyone who knows, like, Wendy's junior burgers have gotten tiny now. Like, they're really small. And the Baconator's supposed to be...
A burger for ants? Is that what you're talking about?
Basically, yeah. And the Baconator's supposed to be regular-sized patties, whatever. But, yeah, this dude was not happy. And while she went to get him the other stuff, the older guy goes, for your weight and your trouble, he's like, can I get you... Because they didn't have any fries on their order. He's like, can I, would you like fries or a drink or a Frosty? And the guy was yeah, actually, a Frosty'd be cool. So he gets him a Frosty, and that completely diffused the guy. Right?
Weird.
Here's the new guy making coming in, coming in, making the save when the manager's just like around, so. And I know,
but it's like the new guy. Granted, he's the new guy, but he once fought off Jerry in France.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be.
Like, he stormed the beaches and shit.
It could very well be that the guy who was mad is just one of those respect your elders types, too. And with that guy standing there, he's just like, hey, I don't know if this dude's going to come over this counter and old man strength me or something,
That's true, because old men fight dirty.
Right. He didn't seem like the type, but you never know,
He's got one of those little flip down ice picks on the bottom of his cane. We just stabs him in the eye with it.
Wow, that's hard. That is ice cold right there. Damn.
Right?
So, yeah. But before we left, I walked up to the counter and I was just like, hey, just so you know, I'm like, you're doing a good job here, man. And he kind of smiled and was like, thank you, and I was like, because I just had this feeling he's not hearing that from that monster he's working with,
Yeah, well, yeah.
But he was trying really hard. He's just a little slow because, like I said, he's being deliberate. He's trying to do everything by the book, because you're new.
Well, and he's got all this technology he's surrounded by. It's confusing and weird.
I'm trying not to be that guy, Tony.
He's like, this register isn't steam powered.
No, actually, he did great with the technology. There was no hiccups or what's this, who's it's do, or nothing like that. So it was, like I said, we've all been there, when you're new at something and you're just trying not to fuck up because you need the job, or whatever. So
yeah, accurate.
And it's so I don't know. Part of me wonders if the manager feels like she got stuck with him or something. Like maybe, she feels like he should have been trained at a different time. I've never been a fan of the places where they're like, hey, let's put the new employees on it during the busy time. It's like,
yeah,
how about start when we're dead? And that way, as we can have time to really work through problems, but whatever. Anyway.
I can't do that, bro.
No, let's like I said, trial by fire. Which, hey, don't get me wrong.
Trial by fire.
That's basically how I learned at Family Video, but...
Yeah, I mean, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
I
what
opened...
we had to do, I guess.
Yeah, I opened like twice, and then my next shift was like Saturday night.
Right.
And I just was crying.
I think it's one of those, ow, Jesus, I just took cat claws at a thigh.
Sorry about
Christ.
that. Weird part is there's
I think
no
it's
cats
one of those things
around.
Where, like, some places are like, well, if he can't survive this,
Yeah,
he's not going to cut it,
right,
you know?
right. But,
Which, I mean, it sucks, especially for the customers.
Mm-hmm.
But you do kind of have to, like, hell week your employees,
Sometimes, yeah, I get it, yeah. I will say this, none of the customers were assholes to the guy. Everybody seemed pretty understanding and would just let it go. And I think, honestly, that probably had a lot to do with the fact that he was older. If that was a 20-year-old, they would have been like, what the fuck? Like, come on. So, but whatever.
Well, and it sounds like that dude is coming at people with, like, respect, too.
He was. Like I said, you walked up and he wasn't just like, welcome to Wendy's, like most of them if they say anything or what can I get you. He was actually like, hi, how are you? Which... For his sake, I hope he abandons quickly, because otherwise he's going to end up in a bunch of just horrible small talk he probably doesn't really want to be involved in.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, you learn that real fast if you ever work retail. You never say, how are you? You just say, hi.
Yeah, hey, what can I, what sounds delicious today?
Right. What's the crake,
Yeah. Faux show.
Yeah. So, in huge news this week, huge. I went into Kroger the other day, and I'm looking at the apples, and I see a sign that wasn't there a couple days before, and I'm like, what's going on here? And it just says crisp apples, and I'm like, okay. And then I see the price at $2.99 a pound, and I'm like, I walk up and read the label, and sure enough, Cosmic Crisp apples, which I'm not a fan of the price. Man. Oh, they certainly took my money. I bought 4, and it was like $6. But
good googly moogly.
Yeah, so these are not going to be my all-the-time apples for sure, because I just can't afford to be, I don't make double cheese money, if you remember that joke.
Yeah, indeed.
Or four-door Jeep money,
good
take your pick.
Double cheese money.
Yep, or four-door Jeep money, remember?
Yeah, good old four-door Jeep money.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so I secured myself. They actually had quite a few, too. I was very surprised, and they all looked amazing, because... That's the way those apples are bred to look. I mean, they're sitting on the counter and they're it's like they almost have like this sheen to them, It's like, oh, as you walk up to them.
It's like if Swedish people were apples.
Yeah, basically. And much like Swedish people, I washed it off and cored it and
like you do.
Like you do. No, had one the other night and man, I really dug those apples. They're sweet and tart without being too much of either. Whereas like the Sweet Tango ones, I like them, but they're a fairly tart apple. These ones, they're not as tart, but man, yeah, the skins are easy to bite through, and the inside was nice and not mealy or anything like that. So. Yeah, I was
mealy apple. Goddamn mealy apples.
There's nothing worse, man.
That manager, she's a mealy apple. That sounds like a 1920s insult.
She's a real mealy
apple. That's a
apple.
real mealy apple. See?
Yeah. That dame's a real mealy apple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely a big fan of them. But the price point's rough, man. Because Sweet Tangos are $1.99 a pound, and Honey Crisp are about $1.99 a pound usually around here. And it's like, it's a really good apple, but I'm not sure it's $1 more per pound good apple. How's that?
But Brian,
shut up and take my money.
No, like I said, they took it. So, what was really funny is when I went up to the checkout, I go to scan them, and they didn't register. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, is like the FBI going to drop down or something here? It's like, I feel like I walked into a trap or something.
I mean, I have to do it now.
Yeah. I was like, oh no. Yeah, they were, they were very good though. I would definitely say my favorite apple that I've had. But again, it's like, how, like, we enjoy the craft beers and the tasty beers, but we've mentioned, like, last episode that it was like, it's an expensive habit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, same here. As I think what I'll probably do is each time I go to the store, if they have them, maybe I'll grab one or two and then, just savor those.
You'll be the guy in the produce aisle, like, switching stickers between apples. Like, these are the most beautiful red delicious I've ever seen.
Dude, you could do that. It's so easy, too. You literally go through the U-scans. You could just throw, say, 5 cheaper apples and 5 of those and 1 cheap apple in there and just scan the cheap apple, because then it just goes, put apples on the scale. So you set it on the thing and then,
and generally the Mongoloid that's overseeing the U-scan is just like, they're not paying attention when something starts flashing.
They don't care, yeah. So.
That's been my experience.
Yeah, basically.
Or if they need to see your ID, God forbid.
Yeah, dude. It's weird. I had 2 experiences with elderly people working customer service jobs. And the other was at Meijer the other night.
Right.
They had signs that said there was Imaginext toys were like buy one. What's weird is it said buy one, get the second one 50% off, right? When we scanned them, the way they scan actually was once you scan 2, it takes 25% off each one. Which was weird. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, whatever. It's like, I don't know why it's ringing up that way, but okay, whatever. We went to a second Meijer, and they didn't so much ring up that way. So I had to ask for help because, want to save them monies. I mean, I need all the monies I can get to buy apples. So this older woman's working there, and she comes over, and dude, she just did not understand what I was trying to tell her. And my brother tried to explain.
I want to go local real quick.
Okay.
Were you at the Meijers on Central?
Yes.
Okay. I've been at the one at the Meijers on Central, and twice I've dealt with a U-scan warden.
Yeah.
That was an older lady that I wanted to, like, Ricky Steamboat her.
Well, I mean, I
wanted to drop kick her, arm drag her, and then figure 4 leg lock her until she tapped.
Dang, that's a lot of things. You probably could just shove her. I mean, that's probably all you'd need to do.
Okay, I hate to be this guy, but was she built like a Weeble Wobble?
Like short and round?
Yes.
Yeah. Same woman then. Okay.
Oh, God damn it. I want to get her with unforgiving office furniture.
Wow. Come on now. Don't be wrecking good furniture that way.
Jesus, I despise this woman. I know exactly who you're talking about.
She's nice as can be, but
exactly. But she's got about 3 or 4 brain cells that they don't get along.
Yeah, I hate to be a jerk about it, but she was not getting it. And at one point,
I understand. I've been through it with this.
Okay, so I explained
this silly goose.
So I explained to her the whole buy one get one free. How they rang up that way at another store, and I said my brother has a receipt out in the car. He can go get it if just for proof, basically. I said, and I can go get the sign from the toy department because I'm going to be honest. My back was bothering me, and I was kind of gimping a little myself, but I still knew I could get back there faster. So she's like, "Oh no, I called."
She'd probably get lost in the shoe section or something.
Making shoes?
Who knows?
So she calls over the manager. The manager fully understood, like immediately was like, "Oh, I get what you're saying." Right? And she goes, "But I need to go check out the sign." And in my head, I'm going, damn it, I could have already gone and got the dang sign and brought it up, but whatever, Because what they were trying to say...
This is where you need surprise bear mace.
Well, here was the problem. Not that anyone probably cares.
And by that, I don't mean the chemical. I mean a grizzly bear with a medieval mace.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you meant that instead of having the big ball with spikes on the end, it was a bear, and I wheeled it with.
That would be sick. Or instead of Samuel L. Jackson, it's a bear as Mace Windu.
Ooh, I would definitely watch a movie with a bear as Mace Windu. I mean, you've seen that video of that bear twirling that stick around, right?
Accurate.
Right?
Kung Fu's real, bro.
Just give him a purple lightsaber. He's all set. Anyway.
Exactly.
So,
his head.
The problem that they were trying to tell us is, well, these things we were trying to buy are on clearance, and when something's on clearance, it also you can't get this discount. And I said, well, here's the problem. First of all, the other store, we didn't even have to ask anybody. It rang up appropriately. But second of all, your sign does not anywhere on it say excludes clearance. It says all Imaginext toys, buy one, get one 50% off. So I'm standing there and I'm like, so I feel like you should honor this. If it's a problem, go take the damn signs down, but the manager goes back there and she looks and she goes, you know what? You're right. It doesn't say any of that stuff. And boom, boom, boom. She just starts firing through the stuff. Right. And I'm like, awesome. Well, I had to do 2 transactions because, I'm poor and I didn't have enough money on one card, so I'd use 2. But because I was also buying a video game, a game we've talked about on here, the Divinity 2, right? And
about 83 pounds of Cosmic Crisps.
No, that was a different store. I could have though. They had them at Meijer too. They had them there too.
But no, that's why your cards are drained.
Silly goose. Oh yeah, absolutely. Just too many apples.
Way too many apples.
Yeah, I'm buying them all, and I'm going to try to sell them for $4 a dozen, or a pound. I mean, a dozen.
Goddamn, black market's Cosmic Crisps.
That's right. Oh man. So then she needs to see my ID for the video game because it's a mature title. So no problem. I already have my wallet out open to my ID. And apparently they actually have to scan your ID there. So I was like, oh, okay. So
this is the exact same thing I went through.
So I give her my ID. She scans it, and then she stares at it like she's memorizing it. And I'm like, is there a problem? And she's like, I just can't believe you're this old. And in my head, I'm going, likewise. But
yeah, for sure.
I'm like, and I get that. I get told a lot that people they're surprised I'm 41. So, apparently I look younger than 41, which is great. I'm glad I do, apparently. So, I mean, my therapist said the same thing to me this week, so she was surprised.
That you look young?
No, she thought they made a mistake in the paperwork. Like, she thought I was like 31 and someone hit 41. I was like, no, I certainly don't look 31. I'm way too grizzled for 30s. But this woman, she continues to look at my ID. And I'm like, okay. Because it's like, well, here's the thing. The ID says I'm 41. Well, it says my birth date and, whatever. All you need to be is 18 to buy the game. It's not close.
But it's funny because this dope that you're dealing with,
yeah,
I did the exact same thing.
One
I
last thing.
bought
It's
a
like,
game.
Dude, you can look at me and tell I'm not under 18. There's no way.
Yes.
I don't have that youthful vigor of an under 18-year-old. That's all been drained out of me over the years. But yeah, it took her seriously 4 minutes before she gave my ID back. I'm looking at my brother and we're both like, what the fuck? So yeah, then finally we were able to get out
She
of there.
probably thought it was a fake.
Maybe, but even still, I'm like, if I was going to do that, why wouldn't I have him buy it for me?
Yeah, because when I bought a game,
yeah,
and it was a mature game, and it was the same thing. I need to see your ID, and I just laughed. I went, and I was like, oh, all right. And I opened my wallet, and I'm like, here it is. And she's like, oh, I need to pull it on scan too. I went, oh, you scan these now too? And she's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking it's the same thing. Like, clearly I'm over 17.
Yeah.
Do you see this beard with all the gray?
Right? It's like if I was still 17, I'd have
Actually, now that I think about it, my son can buy this game.
Right,
easily.
I was just going to... Like, if I was still 17, I would have luxurious locks of hair, a flitter on my head. Those are long gone, much like my youth.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can't believe you had to deal with that woman.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, the ID thing didn't bother me at all, other than just the amount of time it took. Because it's like since we've been legal, I've always how many times at bars or breweries have you seen me reaching for my wallet when I order? I don't do it now because I just assume they go, wow, who's this old fuck? But
right.
I mean, because I still get carded for cigarettes at times because of the, if you're under 50, we card. And it's like, well, that's a stupid policy. The legal age for cigarettes isn't 50.
Why are you buying cigarettes?
I'm not. I'm just making shit up now. No, but I've been carded for beer plenty of times, which it's usually somebody new or someone angling for a tip. So,
yeah.
Like, here's your
get
tip.
Carded occasion too. I'm like, I always go, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I just a lot of times
I have got the I can't believe you're that old. I have got that a couple times too.
Yeah.
I get carded for beer, and I always go, really?
Yeah.
I guess thanks.
I know. I'm always that way too. I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah. So.
Yeah, like clearly this place doesn't have vision insurance.
Well, whatever. Yeah, yeah, it was, that was something. We walked out of there and we were both like, ooh, boy, like, thank goodness that manager was right there and whatever, because she was lickety split on it, so.
Well, also when I dealt with that woman the last time is I was using because at that particular Meijer, if you have the app, you can scan shit as you go.
Oh yeah, I almost did that.
Scan a QR code on your phone.
Right.
And she tried to walk me through it, and it's really not that hard to figure out.
No,
but you would have thought she was showing me how to launch satellites into space.
She wasn't?
I mean, it was.
I launched satellites.
It was a little intense.
I launched some satellites while I was in there. With their app.
Awesome.
Yeah, you missed out, man. You should have let her show you. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that one.
And the thing is, it's like I can fully understand in a lot of ways, why they have her on that duty, though, because for the most part, like you said, all you have to do generally is walk over and, check an ID or something like that. It's usually pretty easy, to figure out stuff. My brother and I just made life horrible, apparently. So, but
nothing would make me happier if I walked in there and there was an orangutan or whatever sitting there with a Meijer vest on and a little thing they hold.
Yeah, wait.
An bro, you're qualified for this.
An orangutan.
Yes.
I didn't even know you guys existed. Racist.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Oh man, yeah. I've really tried not to be the, picking on people because they're old. Because
it's hard not to be an asshole.
We're not that far from it ourselves, but
yeah,
yeah. Well, in that case, it really was because, it could have been super easy, and if she would have just called the manager over from the beginning, it would have went much faster. But whatever.
Yeah, instead of her trying to figure it out.
Well, it's how it is sometimes. It's you think you are making absolute sense, but it just doesn't register with someone else. That happens.
Right.
And I think that's what was going on there was she couldn't understand because she saw that these things were on clearance. So I think she was like, well, they're already marked down. The discount's showing. It's no. And then they had their Santa Bucks thing at the same time. So there was that discount. There was 3 discounts working at the same time here. So this is, this isn't basic math. We're getting into trig at this point,
I mean, I think Macho Man says it best.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
Yeah. Like, meanwhile, Goodwill Hunting just walks by and he solved the problem and, it was all done. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So something about applesauce, I don't know.
And I told him he better not be making the applesauce out of my apples. So.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
Because he's a janitor. I know he ain't making Cosmic Crisp money,
No, hell no. Exactly. What, you think you're armed all day with a push broom, you buying Cosmic Crisps?
Like, nope. Back to the Red Delicious for you, Sonny.
Exactly. Back to them sad-ass Aldi apples.
Oh.
Trust me, I bought a bag of apples from Aldi once. Never again.
Yeah.
Like, what are these? Flavorless?
I've actually gotten to where I haven't been buying bags of apples anymore. I've been buying, like, the per-pound ones because I've noticed that it seems like every time I buy the bagged ones, like, half of them within, like, 3 days are garbage. And it makes me angry.
Yeah.
Very
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
No.
Especially when it comes to apples.
Uh-huh. Then I just start throwing them at people, because jerk.
You gotta freeze them first, make it count.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like that. There's a commercial on TV right now where it shows, like, kids, having a snowball fight or whatever, and they're using, like, those real thin, like WWE garbage can lids, as shields.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, they know how to, clearly the other people don't know how to make snowballs, otherwise those shields would be almost useless.
Yeah, exactly. You punch right through that thing.
Yeah, that's right. He's gotta melt them a little bit and then roll them in some more snow so they look like snowballs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm talking high heat,
Hell yeah. You do that Mr. Miyagi clap and rub, and then you get that snowball melted down.
That's right.
Turn some sort of armor-piercing round.
Yep, roll it in the snow, pack it a little bit, and then, like I said, man, gun that sumbitch at him. And see how long that shield holds up.
Yeah.
Or better yet, if they have the shield,
long.
you throw low. Throw at their knees. So.
True. Yeah, if you gotta chop them down from the bottom like a tree.
Right.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Anyway, so how's your week been?
It's been all right, man. I mean, I took some time off because I had like one day I had to take off before the end of the year. I lost it, and I didn't even know I had it.
Oh, okay.
So I took Thursday off, which meant I didn't have to work Friday because that's just like a straight overtime day,
Nice.
And so it was kind of weird having a 4-day weekend and stuff, but it's been cool.
Yeah.
I just been busy doing stuff though.
Mm-hmm.
I hung out with my dude Mike on Friday night though. That was cool.
Nice.
Went out to Swan, Tucky, hung out the mail pouch, had a few beers, had some chicken chunks, bullshitted until about 10 o'clock, and I was like, bro, I gotta go. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I gotta get up the next morning and do shit with my parents.
You're like, dude, it's already 4 hours past my bedtime. Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
It's like, it's getting dark outside. Start putting on your floor-length flannel PJs.
I think by the time because the Tucky's a long drive where I am right now. So by the time I got home and I went to bed, it was like midnight, and I'm like, bro, it's been a while since I've been up this late. Which is weird because once upon a time.
Yeah, you used to stay up till like 12:01. Yeah. Then
exactly.
Right out at 12:01, no matter what you were doing.
But man, today I had the first Christmas meal.
Yeah.
Because my parents are back out of town next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I regret life. I eat like a savage.
Nice.
But it was so good.
Well, at least there's that. There's nothing worse than, overstuffing yourself on bad food.
Oh, God, everything was amazing. And we made, because I know I've talked about it on our podcast a long time ago, but there's this YouTube series called Food Wishes with Chef John.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to watch them. And I was watching them with Michelle, and I were watching them like last week or something. And the dude made, I know you're not, you don't like brie, do you, Brian?
Like
I can't
what?
remember.
I didn't hear you.
Brie?
Oh, yeah, brie's good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so he made a, stuffed puff pastry wrap brie.
Oh, nice.
For, a Christmas thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck yeah. We should totally make that. And it was super easy to make, and it was delicious.
Yeah, I can't see how it couldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was good enough that I'm like, because the puff pastry I bought had 2 things. I'm like, we should make this again for your family because it was so good. But I ate like a goddamn animal today.
Nothing wrong with that.
Worth it though.
Yeah.
And because my parents are going out of town, I brought home so much food.
Nice.
It's ridiculous how much food I brought home. I mean, which will have me set up for lunches all week and shit, but good Lord.
Guy like that, though.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but holy shit, like the fridge is packed. It's a nightmare.
Well,
But whatever. I'm good with it.
First world problems, right? Yeah.
It's under. I don't know what to do with all this food.
Yeah. Boy, I hope this rock has something on it so it tastes good. Yeah, Tony's over here. Geez, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this.
Jesus, there's so much food, guys. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm just going to throw some of it away because I can't
Brian.
eat
I should
all
be
this.
thankful.
Yeah. No, that was last month.
Should be thankful. It's Christmas. It's time for consumerism.
Right. That's why I said, yeah, thankful was last month. This month's all about consuming.
Exactly. Get that money.
Oh, dude, I have one more thing I forgot about while I was walking through the store I got to tell you about. There was this woman who was she's walking with her husband, and all of a sudden she looks at him and she just gets this look on her face like just like me when I saw the Cosmic Crisps, right? Like I'm pretty sure she, had one right there in the store. And then she goes, "Let's go get hummus." And I lost it.
Yes.
Because you gotta like it when she's enthusiastic about hummus.
Yeah, I know. That's like the best kind of lady in your life when she loves the hummus too.
And I'm like, and I pulled my phone out and I almost texted you. I'm like, no, I got to save this one. So, because.
Yeah, save it for the podcast. That's the one thing I don't like about this sometimes is I have that too, and I'm like, no, I gotta save it for the podcast.
Yeah, and this was like Tuesday, so I forgot to write it down. So I'm glad I remembered it.
It's just been bubbling in the kettle then.
Yep. Anyway,
nice.
so what else you got other than stuffing yourself like a monster?
I made an interesting discovery this week, my friend. Do you remember when
to
we
back?
were kids? I used to joke about how what?
I said front to back.
Yes, it was amazing.
Like,
now my balls don't smell like shit.
Yeah, like now I get it. Why does my ass smell like balls all the time?
Does it that way.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm just trying to like fuck the system, back to front.
Right, side to side, baby.
Side to side.
Get nothing accomplished.
It's 0 because I just dirty knuckles.
Yeah. Right.
Naturally. No, do you remember when we were kids?
Nope.
How we always joked about like the library's gonna like come out and like break my legs and shit because I always had late fees at the library.
Yeah, you certainly did.
Like if I didn't have a late fee, things were weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I've had these 2 books, Brian, that I've been renewing online because I haven't got to read them yet, and I want to read them. But every time I like get the email, hey, your stuff's almost due. I go, okay, cool, and I hop online and renew it.
Really quick, I almost hate that you can renew things online. Like I like it, obviously, but on the other hand, it's like I feel like that changes the accountability as far as like when you have to take it back to the library. You're either like, all right, I'm not going to read this, or like I need to get going and read this. Online, it's just like I'll just renew it.
Oh, well, slow down. Wait till you hear this about accountability, right?
Okay.
So I missed the due date for renewing it online.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. So I got an email. I was like, hey, your shit's due. And I looked and I'm like, oh, this is due like 2 weeks ago now.
Whoops.
And I'm like, maybe I can renew it online. Let me try.
Yeah.
So I tried to renew it. It's like, cannot renew online. Please see a librarian. So I was like, God damn it. So on one of my days off, totally forgot the books, but I was like, whatever. I'll just go in and be like, hey, I have these books.
Yeah.
Let me square up my fee, and I'm going to check them back out. So I walk up and I'm like, hey, lady, here's my library card. I have 2 books out. They're late.
Right.
I want to pay the fee and check it back out. And she goes, oh, that's no problem, but we don't charge fees anymore.
Really?
I went, what? And she's like, yeah, we don't do fees anymore.
Oh, no. They've created a monster. Tony
So
walks out with all the
renew
books.
it online is because it's so overdue.
Yeah.
But the solution is just go to the library.
Wow. So now you just own the library, right? Like you just took all the books, right?
I don't know how that. It's like, what if you don't take them back? How does that work?
I would assume at some point they probably charge off the book and maybe charge you for it, but otherwise, I don't know. Dude, the library.
I don't know.
Are you going to the one in Sylvania?
Yeah, the one they just rebuilt or whatever down there on Main Street.
Sorry to go local people, but the one up here, like the first time I went in there, I had completely forgot. I thought like I took 2 books back, and the third one had fallen off my desk, and I completely forgot about it. And they called me, and I was like, "Oh crap!" So I go to take it back, and it was like, I don't know, a week and a half late. And I'm like, hey, here's a book. I just want to square up. And the woman goes, oh, well, if you just, any donation to the library will cover it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so if I give you a nickel, that covers it? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, how much should it be? And she told, whatever it was. And I'm like, well, I'll pay that. I'm like, I feel weird. Like
you didn't go, I assume you take sperm.
Well, let's go back to the hot urine conversation. No,
exactly.
Here you go. No,
just hop up on the counter and just take a hot juice right on her laptop or whatever.
Wow, that's a statement.
It's an aggressive donation.
Very, yeah. But I was just like, no, I'll pay. I don't mind. Like it's. And, it's not like at a video store if you had something that was like a week and a half late, you show up and they're like, oh, it's $7,000, It's like a nickel a day or something like that, like, okay, here, but yeah.
It's something so minuscule.
They were running shit for the longest time that anytime you had a late fee, you could pay $1 and it would wipe the whole thing. Like if you owed $20, you could pay $1 and it would clean it up. And I'm like, and it's like, this has to be because this is an affluent area. It has to be, right? Because it's like, I know some of the other libraries where they're like, boy, I hope this thing passes so we can, not close. And, meanwhile, you have like a library up here that's like, we don't care if you pay us or not.
Well, like, because I was talking about Michelle because I was blown away. And she brought up the point that it was like, well, maybe they're doing that because the whole like, oh God, I have a late fee keeps people away from the library.
Oh, it certainly does.
And they want people to, they want people there, you know. So
like Family Video with the get out of jail free deals that they used to mail out, you know, because a lot of people like, oh, I owe $70, I'm not going in there, and they're like, oh, hey, come rent a movie and rack up another $70. So
yeah, well, wipe your late charge and blah blah blah. Okay. Good call, Family Video. No wonder you're going out of business.
Well, in fairness, they've outlasted everybody else pretty much. So
yeah, I don't know how. I have no idea how.
Do you know what I really think a lot of it was they embraced DVDs pretty fast. Like they went full tilt on DVDs before like Video Connection or Hollywood or Blockbuster really did. So I think that set them up. I think that gave them a couple extra years, basically. Also, owning your own buildings helps. You don't have to worry about rent. But anyway, that's wild about the library.
But I mean, besides, the couple odd things, I mean, I do have the good news of, in theory, next week closing on a house, which is awesome.
Nice. Squatting.
Pretty pumped about that.
Yeah. You just went in there and claimed it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Just went in there and just spray painted mine, or spread fecal matter on the wall and it says mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Peed in every corner.
Right. Someone else goes to walk in and be like, it's already cleaned.
Like, Jesus. And this guy drinks a lot of coffee. Holy.
Ooh, he needs more water in his life. And fiber. Jesus.
But, I mean, honestly, it's been a pretty chill week. I did get some more Call of Duty time in. Not that I want to bore everybody with that, but I had a good time shooting people in the face.
That's fair.
I've been playing a little bit of campaign. It's pretty intense.
Yeah. I still haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't played much as far as games this week, because I've really been trying to get, my eBay stuff,
That's fair.
sorted out. So, yeah, I won another car in Grand Theft Auto. The first day that they put this newest car up, won it. Yeah, so.
Of course you did, you silly goose, you.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And your car winning.
That's really been about it, though. Like, I really haven't played much. Honestly, I sat down and played I was telling you, my brother picked up an old copy of NCAA football for the Xbox 360 and asked me to test it for him so he could sell it. And I played a full game of that last night. That's the most gaming I've played in a while. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like we got to get on the internet and shoot people in the face, my friend.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm kind of itching. Well, and I got that, I bought that Divinity 2. Also, this is more for you than anyone, but I didn't know. Did you know they made a game called River City Girls? It's by the people who made River City Ransom.
I did not know this.
You know how in River City Ransom, the two guys, like their girls, get kidnapped and that, sends them on a kick-ass frenzy to rescue the ladies? Well, I guess
you do. Yeah.
In this one, the guys get captured. So you play as the girls to go rescue the guys.
This is like the female Ghostbusters of the River City Ransom world.
Well, I guess there's like, power-ups and all sorts of stuff. So I was looking at it's available on the PlayStation Network. So I was like, I may have to pick this up at some point. I put it on my wish list and I'll, see if it's ever on sale. Maybe I'll grab it because, I miss River City Ransom. That's kind of cool. Yeah. But,
I mean, if it plays like River City Ransom, it's going to be amazing.
Right. Or it'll be terrible because we'll be like, oh my God, games are so much better now.
I mean, I guess there's that.
Yeah. Speaking of games, you see Microsoft unveil their X series or whatever the hell it's called, the next console.
Yeah, Logan showed me a picture of that yesterday. It's a computer tower.
It really is. Yeah, they've definitely finally just quit pretending and kind of just went after it. It's not as big as a tower though, because it's supposed to be as wide as a controller and about 3 controllers high. So
it's still way bigger than a normal console.
Well, height wise, yes, but width wise, it's going to be smaller. But yeah.
Yeah, but Brian's all about the girth.
Instead of it, well, the hard part is going to be like how I have my games. I have like this tower thing that they're on that's got like a couple dividers and each game system's in there. It's like, man, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put that thing. I'm going to have to get another stand next to my TV for it. Like, what are you doing?
Did you say a tower thing?
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah, well, like a desk for it to sit in.
Sweet to be sour and funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. But, yeah, there's a couple things that concern me about it. One is I've read some stuff saying that a good internet connection is going to be necessary. I don't have a great internet connection, so I'm curious what good internet is going to mean, because that could be really limiting as far as someone like me being able to upgrade. And also, of course, what's this monstrosity going to cost?
I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous.
Because I'll be honest, the consoles are all these last generations really that they've pretty much pushed my limit. I think I can't see spending $500 on a game system.
Well, it's like you see how much like gaming computers are.
Yes.
That's where they're going.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about this with Logan. I'm like, it's the console right there. Is the console is trying to catch up to the quote unquote PC master race.
Yeah.
As the gamers call it.
And I think Microsoft has wanted to do that anyway. The way they positioned the Xbox One. Remember, originally they weren't positioning it as a game console, but it was an entertainment something. I forgot what they called it.
Right.
And I think they've been trying to brand it, and PlayStation did too with the PS4. They really were trying to push it more as, not just a game console, but you can also, and it's like, yeah, I can do all the same shit on a computer too.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And with a lot of the games going crossover, You know, like that makes it to where, because again, it's like, man, you know, you can't buy a good gaming laptop for $400, but you know, you certainly could buy one and just play your games on it. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you know, yeah. Exactly. We'll see.
I don't like the vertical design.
I mean, I'll be curious to see how much it is.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I agree. I'm
But man,
curious too.
All I could say is man.
I don't know if you saw did you see any of the like demo video stuff they showed?
No, not really.
No. Like their little teaser video and stuff. And you know, you never know, like I don't know if it's actual game stuff or if it's the cinematic stuff, but these two, both the PlayStation 5 and this X series or whatever this is called, I forgot, Series X, I forgot already. But they both are promising a lot. You know, they're talking huge storage and, you know, super blazing fast speeds, into where basically they can reduce the load time to like nothing, which that would be awesome.
Right.
You know, because we haven't had consoles with no load time in these generations. They've all, like even Grand Theft Auto, just to boot the game, it's like, gee, why do I have to wait 5 minutes to boot the damn game? You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, you know,
it would almost be cool if just because it just popped in my head. It'd be great if games like that, if they would give you some sort of like mini game you could play.
Yeah. There's
while it was loading.
I have this game called Everybody's Golf. That's a lot like Hot Shots Golf, you know, that used to be out. And during the load screen on it, you can practice your timing on the golf swing thing. It's like, well, at least it's something to do, you know.
It's definitely something.
It's something, you know. I mean, don't get me. When I first got the game, I practiced the hell out of it trying to get my timing right, you know.
Right.
Now that I've played it a ton, I don't bother so much. I just look at my phone for a couple minutes until it's loaded.
Yeah, fair enough. So, probably your best move.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, the biggest thing that excites me about the next Microsoft thing would be, you know, a new Halo game, because, you know, that's going to launch with it. So,
I mean, that's the one thing Logan told me that he's loving, and it's a game that him and I played together. Is that they re-released remastered Halo Reach? Oh
yeah, right. Yeah, that's actually, I think.
And he said he's been playing the crap out of it, and like, I kind of wish I had a next-gen Xbox, because that was like, when he first started playing games, I bought 2 copies of Reach.
I remember
one
that.
for him, one for me.
Yeah.
Because that was the year we bought him his own Xbox.
Yeah, and that was one of the
him
first
and I
games.
could play when he was up in his room.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember that was one of the first games you guys could played together like that. You know, so yeah. So it'd be kind of cool to, you know, go back in time a little bit there, and you know. Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
And in the Games Pass, they just put the whole Master Chief collection is in there, you know, along with it. So yeah, there's a lot of Halo stuff in there. So yeah, that's, I don't know. It was kind of cool. You know what I thought the coolest part of the whole Microsoft drop thing was, though? Nobody seemed to know it was coming. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
They legit kept a secret in this day and age. I don't know how, but they did. There must have been like 5 people who knew, basically, and that's it.
Yeah, that is true. They did keep it under their hats, didn't they?
Yeah. Just be like, okay, here's what we're going to do. 2 people are going to know, and if anything leaks about it,
y'all dead.
Y'all are fired and sued into eternity. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the vertical tower design thing, though, because like I said, I don't know. It doesn't stack well with the others, you know. It needs a different space. But apparently the fan in the thing is supposed to be able to cool the whole thing way more efficiently than the consoles do.
Yeah, it's probably got something to do with the tower design.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why they said they went for functionality versus, you know, I don't know. It's not that
That's probably a good move then.
Well, yeah, especially for Xbox, who the last 2 consoles have had overheating issues, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If they can actually launch a console that doesn't have overheating issues, that'll be a major step in the right direction for them,
Yeah, they're definitely doing something right.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, because of that, I didn't buy a new one right away. Like, I remember when the 360 came out, I remember T having issues with the red ring of death, and I was like, oof. And I remember I held off buying until kind of like that next wave of their consoles hit before I bought one. And same with the Xbox One. I waited like a year before I bought one. And I'll be honest, like even with this new one, if I had the money and stuff, I'd probably want to wait a little while before I bought it to see what kind of issues there are. Although that's probably just smart. Anyway.
You see what I typically do. I mean, shit, I just joined the next generation last year.
Yeah. Well, like the Xbox.
And the new ones are right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. And they shouldn't be, but they are. So, because both consoles still can, they still could be pushed, but whatever, I don't understand it, but whatever. I mean, it's been a long time. Both of them have had not a long time, but they've both had a pretty good system. And I honestly think they're probably still going to be making stuff for these systems for a while, too. Because do you remember, like, even after the PS3 came out, they made the PS2 for a long time afterward, and they were still selling the hell out of them. So,
yeah, it's true. It's true.
And I think the same thing will happen here. I think they'll sell a lot of PS4s and stuff, So it was funny though. I'm in Target last night. They had 0 Nintendo Switch. Well, they had the Lite, but they didn't have any of the other one. And they had plenty of PS4 and Xbox. So it's like, I'm curious to see at the end of like the Christmas season what who the console wars winner is, but it really feels like it's the Switch, because I've been in GameStop, people coming in like, do you have any Nintendo Switch? Like, they can't find it. So the only reason it wouldn't win is because they just can't find them,
Right.
But it seems like the hot gimmick, which is understandable because Nintendo.
Yeah, everyone loves a Nintendo, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just saying.
Target barely had any games for the dang thing. Like, they had a bunch of sales from Black Friday, on, like, and they've even got one right now where I forgot what 2 games it is, but it's like if you buy those 2 games, you get like a $50 gift card.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think it'd be like $80 for the 2 games together, and then you get a $50 gift card off of that. So that's like three games.
That seems legit.
Yeah, right. Like 3 games for $80. That seems okay. So yeah. Although I think one of them might be like Just Dance, which can go right to hell. But
oh well, no wonder they're trying to get rid of that shit.
One of them I think was one of the Mario games, but I don't remember which one. But anyway. What else we got here? What else you got?
Anywho.
Yeah.
Well, as for my own personal life and stuff, it was a pretty quiet week. But I've got stuff we can talk about though.
We'll certainly talk about that then.
Brian, I got stuff.
All right. I hear you. Let's go.
All right. Well, one of them I thought was kind of interesting. It's from one of my favorite little subreddits I enjoy. It's called Data is Beautiful.
Okay.
And people just make interesting graphs and charts, and it's fun.
Oh, I thought I thought it would be like Data from Star Trek with makeup,
like sexy Next Generation Data.
Yeah. Now I'm disappointed.
Well, this is from Reddit user Bo McCready.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a cost analysis of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Okay.
Which is funny because if you listen to the song, apparently the running total of gifts throughout the song is 364 gifts.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The most being geese laying and swans a swimming.
Right.
Now, do you want to just take a guess on what the most expensive item in the 12 Days of Christmas is once you do the whole song?
The golden rings,
One would think.
but no.
But it's actually the Swans of Swimming coming in at $78,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the total running cost for the 12 Days of Christmas is $170,000.
That's affordable. Yeah.
Isn't that nutty?
Yeah. Dude, that's Cosmic Crisp money right there. Like,
And the cheapest one is the Maid's Milking. That's only $290.
I feel
Gold
like
Rings is coming in at fourth with 6,600.
Well, hold on, because if everybody was looking for that many Maids of Milking, I feel like the price on those especially would go up, because that's people.
I mean, that's true.
You know, in fairness, I guess
think, right?
all the things, if everyone's looking for them, the price will go up. But you know,
But like, I can only assume this guy like looked up like, well, how much does a dairy milker get paid?
oh, I was thinking
you know.
I was thinking he looked up like hand jobs. But okay, yeah, I guess yours makes more sense.
Oh, that would go way up.
Yeah,
That'd be number one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to give a gift,
Maids of Milking, that's a lot of handies.
I mean, if I'm going to give a gift, I'm not giving you somebody who can milk a cow. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe I will. I don't know. You know, they have machines for that now, though. So I don't know.
They do have machines for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a kind of a fun little chart to put together. It shows like an overhead view of basically all the gifts laid out and just like little pictures and
Nice.
a little, graph chart that shows how the spike of the cost goes up. It's fun. I'll make sure
that.
we have a link to it.
Cool. That's cool, though. I like that.
Good old data is beautiful. Yeah, I recommend that subreddit because sometimes there's stuff on there you're like, huh, that's fun. Someone figured that out.
What'd you say it was again? r/what?
r/data is beautiful.
Okay. Well, that way I can add it myself.
I guess now that I think about it, there's one thing I want to bring up.
Mhm.
Has to do with data.
Okay.
So we might as well talk about it.
All right.
It's the old 2019 year in review from Pornhub.
It's that time again.
Pretty sure we've talked about this about every year since we discovered they do this.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, we might as well just get in on it. I'll read off there's so much data on this. We can't possibly go through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll give the mass numbers, and I'll just kind of do a quick scroll and do the stuff like, what states are in the what, stuff like that.
Okay.
So you got the 2019 interview, 42 billion visits to Pornhub.
Nice.
It's 115 million per day. And there's 39 billion searches performed.
Wow.
6.83 million videos were uploaded.
Wow.
And it's 1.36 million hours of new content, which is 169 years. So it says if you start watching all the new videos of 2019 in 1850, you'd still be watching them. There was 6,597 petabytes of data transferred.
Wow.
It's 18,073 terabytes a day, 753,000 gigabytes an hour, 209 gigabytes a second.
Jeez. Wow.
Here's the one that kind of got me. 233 million video votes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
70 million messages sent?
Oh, nice.
Who's sending messages on Pornhub?
Well, probably like for the amateur videos and stuff. They're like, hey, who is that? Are you interested in a third? Or, just random dick pic.
Or you're probably right, because there was 98,000 new amateur models.
See?
This year.
Yeah.
And the most commented words were good, love, like, sexy, pretty, nice.
Well, of course, sexy. We know that. That obviously is a good, you always type sexy before whatever you're searching for.
It's true.
Especially boobies.
So do you want to hear what happens every minute on Pornhub?
What?
Besides lots of jacking.
Right. That's the obvious
so
one.
So there's 80,000 views. And I'm rounding the numbers just to make it quicker. There's 80,000 views.
Yeah.
80,000 searches. 220,000 video views. Every minute this happens. 11,000 hours watched.
Wow.
12,000 gigabytes transferred. 15,000 profiles viewed, 343 friend requests. Who's requesting friends?
That's weird.
Hey, Jackbot 8,000, I love your style. Let's be buddies.
Okay, Jackbot 9,000.
612 people followed, 134 messages sent, 387 ones rated, 29 comments. 2.8 hours are uploaded every minute.
Oh my god. Well, in fairness,
14 videos are uploaded.
In fairness, there are a lot of the porn companies that are putting a lot of content on Pornhub, so I'm sure that's a good chunk of it, but still, wow.
Still. The searches, the top searches, number 1 being amateur, number 2 being alien.
Sure.
And then you have POV, Belle Daphne. Not sure who that is. I might look her up.
I actually know who that is because do you remember the girl who was selling like her bath water?
Oh, is that her?
That's her. Yeah, that's the only reason I know who she is because of that bullshit. Yeah.
Goddamn rich cunt.
Hey, whatever.
Cosplay.
Yeah.
Mature, bisexual, Apex Legends.
Sure.
ASMR and femdom. Those are the top searches.
Wow. Good fun.
Most search terms, number 1's Japanese. I'm not going to really get into that. I want to really get into the states stuff.
Yeah.
The number 1 country by traffic is overwhelmingly the United States.
All right.
Overwhelmingly.
Okay.
The most time spent is from Thailand. They spend on an average 11 minutes on 21 seconds on Pornhub.
Wow. All right. Either they're really interested in the stories or it just takes them longer to get there. Said either they really get into the stories.
Are Russians.
Yeah, well. That makes sense.
You got Jack quick when it's negative 30 out.
Exactly.
But for the United States, the state that lasts the longest, Mississippi, about 11 and a half minutes.
Wow, that's weird. You'd think they'd have, with their low tolerance, they wouldn't last as long.
You would think.
But
Kansas, about 10 minutes. Shortest.
No, they're busy.
Favorite time
they got
to
get back
watch
to
porn
choring.
on Pornhub. Midnight. Overwhelmingly midnight.
Makes sense once the spouse has gone to bed. Yeah.
And actually, they break it down into the most popular time is Sunday at 11 p.m. The least popular time is Monday at 5 a.m.
Really? No one's getting a quick wank before heading off for the week, huh? Wow.
Apparently, right?
I feel like they've got that backwards. I feel like that's how you should start the week. I mean, nothing wrong with ending the week that way too, but you think it's like, God damn it, it's another Monday. You know what? I'm going to go, fire some rockets and then get going.
Fire some rockets.
But no, guess not. Wow.
I don't know if we want to do all 50 states, but the relative category, this is relative category viewed by women. I was hoping for everything. I don't know why they just have women on there. Well, women in Michigan, Brian, since that's where you're at.
Yeah.
Their most favorite category that women in Michigan visit.
Yeah.
Pissing.
I knew it. Always comes back to the hot urine.
Women in Ohio.
Yeah.
Feet.
Ugh. Gross. Wait.
I know, right?
See, then now I want to know. It's like, are women looking for women's feet, or are they looking for men's feet? Because they're looking for man feet. That's disgusting.
I don't know.
Not
they didn't break it down, and if it's lesbian feet or man or dude feet.
I don't like feet anyway, but I certainly, if you're going to force me to look between the two, I'm going to look at women's feet because at least generally they're, manicured. God knows what with us. I mean,
if someone's looking at my feet and getting hard, they got problems.
Amen.
Yeah. As for the way most people watch on their phone now,
Sure.
desktop is coming at 16%. Tablets are only 7%. Everything else is on a phone.
Wow. All right. So nobody cares about the size of the image. Apparently, it's just about getting there. So,
apparently not.
Yeah. Well, plus
it's overwhelmingly on a desktop Windows operating system.
Okay. That's interesting.
But I mean, that kind of makes sense because most people have Windows.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
With a desktop.
Right.
Because you look at the phone and it's almost split in half.
Yeah,
it's
that makes
52%
sense.
Apple, 46 Android, and the rest is other, which I don't even know what other could be.
Microsoft Zune. Yeah. No.
I guess, right?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's other operating
Here's the one
systems.
that gets me. 51% on game consoles is PlayStation.
Okay.
I'm never playing PlayStation for anybody ever again, unless it's my controllers.
The people love that VR, man. No. Oh, man.
People love that VR.
The weird.
But I mean, there is
I think it's
so
weird.
much.
Like, how are you watching it on your PlayStation? I mean, I know it has a browser, but I don't know. Maybe it's just my internet, but the browser's slow. Like, why wouldn't you just use your phone? Well, I guess you get it on your 70-inch TV that way. But I could throw things from my phone.
Like, the data that I put out right now is just like it's like dipping your toe in with the amount of stuff they post.
Careful if you're doing that in Ohio.
Yeah, right. Good point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if y'all are really curious and want to deep dive into the Pornhub Year in Review, links on our website.
Right.
It's fun to check out because there's so many categories that they go, here's this, and you just go, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why I love talking about it. When I saw it was up, I was like, oh shit, I gotta.
Yeah, I usually take a good look at it too. I didn't realize that it had been released yet. So it's always weird to me how these like blah blah blahs of 2019 are released and it's still 2019. You know, you'd think that would be released in 2020 right? Because those aren't complete numbers. We still have a couple weeks left.
You. But you know, I guess what are you gonna do, huh?
What if all of a sudden women in Ohio decide to quit looking at feet and start looking at I don't know what else? You know. Side to side.
What if women in the house are pissing on feet? What are we going to do now?
Well, that's what happens at the border, Tony. Of Ohio and Michigan.
If you get stung by a jellyfish.
I was meaning Ohio.
Oh, you mean Toledo, where I'm at?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
That's the big deal there. Just pissing on feet.
Goddamn piss feet or feet pissers.
God. Whatever. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. You know, that's what I mean. Unless it's feet, then I'm sorry, I just can't. Feet are so gross. Anyway, wow. You know,
I mean, they're not great, that's for sure.
No, most of the time. But hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually forgot when we were talking about video games. I had a game brought to my attention the other day that we have to talk about because when it's released, I have got to play this. Have you heard of a game called?
Okay.
It's called Crab Champions.
Called what?
Crab Champions. Like crab.
Crab Champion.
Yeah.
Like Crab Rangoon.
Yes.
Okay, no, I have not heard of this, but I'm interested.
All right, Twitter's loading super slow.
Of course, Twitter's loading stupid.
From what I looked at...
Please tell me this is like WWE No Mercy, but with crabs.
Kinda. It's crab combat.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Dude, it's crab combat. Like, you go around with, like, knives and guns and shit as a crab. And it just is...
All right, I'm looking this up.
I cannot get this to load right now, so I can't talk more really about it because it won't freaking load. I have I notice whenever I have Audacity open, my computer, everything else on my computer is just like, nah. So...
All right, Crab Champions.
Yeah, like if a person's on Twitter right now, you can go to twitter.com/crabchampions and it'll maybe load for you. Do you have something talking about it there? Because if so, please share.
So much changed since the last gameplay. I just found some like article kind of about it.
Okay, well,
check out the new.
It finally loaded here, but
oh, okay.
Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, it just says it's an upcoming game, but all the pictures and stuff of it show like a crab running around on a beach and with weapons, and I believe you fight like other crabs and shit.
I mean, that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I will definitely have the Twitter thing in here, and there's all sorts of, you can look at the trailer and everything. and it's funny because the people who are, I think it was I want to say they had, no, I guess not. I thought they had a Kickstarter or something like that for it, but anyway, it's one person, but the graphics and stuff look pretty fun for it and everything. So anyway, if it's exactly that, where literally, you know how like they have like that goat simulator, and they have what's the newest ones, like it's a goose one or something like that.
Untitled Goose Game.
Yes, thank you. You know, it's like, if it's just like I just get to run around as a crab and just attack things with various weapons, I'm in. That's all I need right there.
Yeah, I pulled up to Twitter, and they have like a little video pinned, and I just watched it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. So, like I said, we'll have the link for it in the show notes. It was brought to my attention by somebody in a Twitter group I'm in, and I was like, wait, what? And so she sends me the link, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to play this. So, of course, we followed them on Twitter
sweet.
Immediately. So,
if I'm being honest, that looks pretty sweet.
yeah. So, definitely go check that out. Sorry.
It's Crab Champions.
Crab Champions. Yep. I haven't seen a release, projected release or anything for it yet, so I don't know. They have a Discord channel too, but I'm not young and cool, so I don't do the Discord. So.
Yeah, actually, you know what is funny is I heard one use from my son just the other day about Discord that I'm like, that's a good use for that stupid app.
Okay. Yeah.
And but it doesn't have to be Discord now that I think about it. He could do it through anything.
Okay.
But it's in his D&D group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his one of his players is a warlock, and with warlocks you have to have like a patron or whatever.
Right.
And so obviously the DM is a patron, and he talks to him via Discord because so then the other players don't know what's going on.
Okay, I can live with that. Yeah.
And so like he opened up a room as like, this is your god's like chat channel, basically. And I was like, that's actually a really good use for modern technology and role-playing games. Good job, Logan. And I'm sure he's not the first person to do it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool.
Well, I know like some of the, like that wrestling game that I play, the Match 3 wrestling game, there's a lot of the factions in there that require you to be part of their Discord group. And it's so they can talk to each other. There's in-game chat, but a lot of them like using that instead because it's, I don't know, easier or something. I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest with those match games, and because I actually haven't played one of those in a while. I used to play one all the time. I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I was in a faction because it got you more stuff.
Yep.
I didn't want to associate with anybody in there.
No, and that's my thing is that I just joined a new faction recently in that one, and it's made a huge difference because everybody in there, basically, if you're not, like if you're inactive, they actively kick people out and recruit new people so that when there's like what are called feuds in there where you're fighting against other factions, like if you don't play in those, like that kind of thing, you'll pretty much get kicked out. And it's not like super serial. It's just that it's, they're trying to make sure everybody can get, the bonuses for being in the faction. So it's actually, it's been quite nice.
Quite nice.
Quite nice. So, all right. So yeah, Crab Champions. Anyway, what else you got there, sir?
Oh, bro, what do I got? I mean, surely you've heard about the stupid banana taped to the wall, then the guy ate it situation.
Yeah, I love that actually. That feels so much like that makes me feel so much like something that like kind of in the how Banksy did the like shredded painting thing.
Yeah, right.
I kind of would love to do that, like put the art exhibit up as the artist, and then show up later and just eat the banana, but don't tell anybody you're the artist kind of a thing, but just show up or have someone just do it for you and just for the reaction of the people around,
Right. Now, like, I'm a big fan of art, but when it's stuff like that, it makes me just outraged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The social experiment part of it, I love.
It.
Yeah, I love that part of it, but yeah. I'm not a big fan of that.
No,
kind
I
of
mean,
silly
this is
stuff.
just a real quick thing that I saw that cracked me up was, Dearborn, Michigan is like the number one spot for Arab Americans
Right.
in America,
Yeah.
for some reason. The Muslim population there is ridiculous.
Yes.
So there's a National Arab American Museum in Dearborn.
Right.
And they put up a shawarma taped to the wall.
Did someone eat it? Because, I mean, that'd be delicious, I'm sure.
It would be. Well, as long as you let it sit there for not a few days.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want it after a little while, yeah. That's funny, though.
I mean, I just thought that was pretty funny and good on them.
That is good. I like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right.
But yeah, that's a real quick thing.
I got a quick
What's
thing
up?
here actually too. Did you see this is
Oh, okay.
this is a I'm trying to think. Oh no, this one isn't local. I've seen some that are doing this local, and I actually really like this idea though. Although it's only a 1-day gimmick, but there's a school in Kentucky that's doing adulting classes to teach skills like paying bills and cooking. Which, do you remember when we were in high school?
God.
I took a class that taught
Yes.
you stuff like very intro, how to buy stocks, balance a checkbook, do all sorts of things like that. And then there was also home economics that would teach, well, it didn't teach much cooking because, yeah, anyway. But it used to teach cooking and sewing and all these things that a person might actually use in life. It's one of the few classes that actually teaches you something. You could literally use something from that class every day,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Accurate.
I like that the school did this because, because they did. They taught them, cooking class demonstrated how to make healthy meals in a dorm room. Throughout the day, the school seniors learned how to change a tire, balance their checkbook, use credit cards, cook healthy meals, and more. And it's funny, I was just in a conversation at Target last night with one of the guys working there, and a customer there was talking about how he's 24, and when he was 18, he got his first credit card, and he has been using it responsibly since he was 18. And he was talking about how he has like immaculate credit because he's been doing all the things you're supposed to do, and it was like, wow, that's kind of refreshing to hear, because like when I turned 18, I remember Discover was like, hey, you're 18. The two things you got in the mail back when we turned 18 was a razor, because I don't know if you got one or not. I got one in the mail from Gillette, and I also got a credit card, basically. And in fairness, Gillette is still
cigarettes and a Playboy.
Right. Gillette is still the razor brand. When I do use one, that's still the razor brand I prefer. So smart move by them. Discover not so much, but because I just don't have any credit cards right now.
Right.
But but he even mentioned, he was like, yeah, he's like, my dad taught me how to be responsible with this stuff. He's like, I would, they should teach that in school though. He's like, so many of my friends are the same age and they're already like in a mess financially. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But that's also because of various other factors, which we're not going to get into. But they, I've agreed with this. And you and I, remember we talked about this. Actually, we did a QoftheW on this. Like, like what things should people be taught that they aren't, we talk like cooking and stuff like that. Changing a tire, checking your oil, shit like that. I can't get over how many people don't know how to do that, Now again, my dad had a body shop, so of course, he instilled that, but he taught my sisters how to do that stuff too. Any kid he had, basically, he taught them how to change a tire, check your oil, change, like dumb stuff, put the wiper fluid and, all that kind of stuff. So.
Right.
But I like the fact that, all right, I don't like the second part of this as much, but anyway, because the Army and stuff used it as a recruitment day too. But,
of course.
Although it is funny because the one picture they're showing here, they're showing how to change a tire, but this, I don't know if this is a stock or not. No, okay. But it shows a guy with an air chuck. It's like, yeah, on the side of the road, you aren't so much going to have an air chuck to change your tire. You're going to have, if you have anything.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Like I said, if you have anything, a lot of the cars now don't even come with those things, really, or if they come with one, it's garbage. My brother and I were somewhere, and this guy was trying to change his tire and struggling like crazy. And he came up to us and was like, do you guys happen to have a real, like, tire iron, in your, car? And my brother did, so he went over and, helped him get the tire off there, because it was like the ones that came with, literally the guy was bending it.
Yeah, those things are hot garbage.
Yeah, and those lug nuts were on there so tight that you can't use one of those garbage ones. You have to have a legit one. So anyway,
for sure. But
yeah, we were talking about like my brother Jimmy, years ago when he went into the military, my mom had taught him how to iron his clothes, and most of the guys in there didn't know how to do it, so he would actually take on money that way. Like, he'd be like, yeah, I'll iron your clothes for you and pay me money,
I mean, that's pretty good, actually.
Right? Let me ask you a question. If you had to sew a button on something, could you do it?
If I sew a button?
Yeah.
I could, but it would be
not very
shit. I've done it before, and it lasts like a day.
Yeah, I haven't done it in so long, I don't remember. Now, again, YouTube exists, so I would probably just go there. But again, honestly, I wouldn't. But it's like, in a lot of ways, our society's gotten to where, like, people lose a button on pants or whatever, and it's like, oh, guess it's time for new pants, basically. It's like, oh, okay, you could just put a new button on them, and ta-da. But anyway, I like this stuff. I heard something local where a school was going to do this, and I actually really feel like they need to do this more. This really needs to be. Oh my God, I didn't even realize that this is from last year. But anyway, I had heard about a local school district doing this. But this really should become actual curriculum. Curriculum, like reading.
A good old curriculum.
Curriculum. Oh, man. So, yeah. I just feel like there's too much of this kind of stuff that's, and by balance a checkbook, I've heard people, like, I don't remember where I was when we were talking about this, and I mentioned the balance checkbook, and somebody was like, well, there's no point in that because everybody uses debit cards, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you still need to pay attention to how much you have. If you do write a check or have something auto-deducted, you need to make sure that you've budgeted for that somehow. If you don't, you're asking for overages.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah.
Ugh.
But I saw...
people are like, oh no, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. The one guy that was in the conversation about the adulting things that I saw on TV mentioned even if this was like, something that they taught in like your last week of high school, and I was like, I could even get behind that if there's good, like for stuff like changing a tire and all that. Like, hey, that last week of school is pretty
before
much...
you get released onto the world.
Yeah, and it's pretty much bullshit anyway that week, I mean, you have your exams, of course, but, like, think about it, like at our school, they have the thing where everyone's supposed to put their cap and gown on and march through the school, which is stupid because we have to do it again on the weekend, It's like, teach some real life stuff there instead. Anyway, what else you got?
For sure. Anyway, what?
I said, what else do you have, sir?
Oh, what else do I got? Well, I got a fun little story about it that takes place in Vegas.
Okay.
This, it's something I saw on Imager like last week after recorded. It just made me laugh that there's somebody in Las Vegas that's been putting tiny cowboy hats on pigeons.
Oh my God, yeah. I saw that, and like animal rights groups are trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. People are outraged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's it's a animal rescue hopes to safely remove the tiny cowboy hats from their heads.
Right.
I, for one, would be like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
But it says they're concerned at how the hats could negatively impact the pigeons. Like, maybe they're not into Western music.
Yeah, right? Like, that's cool. Let's put
Right?
different hats on them then.
I mean, the one thing that I can say is if some asshole's like gluing the hats on them, that's shitty.
Oh, yeah. But it didn't look like it. It looked like they were the ones that would, like, strap under their, like, around their head, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they're getting on these birds.
I don't know.
But I think it's amazing.
Clearly, I mean, I would assume you've got to, like, hold them to put that on them. I can't imagine they're just going to, like, stand there and let you put a hat on them unless maybe they're just fashion-forward pigeons, you know?
I don't know, maybe all these pigeons walked into like a, oh God, I completely forgot that stupid cowboy hat company name. God damn it. A Stetson. Maybe they walked into a Stetson store.
Yeah.
But yeah, this lady for this like animal rescue place it's like a pigeon positive rescue place.
Right.
Nursing dozens of injured pigeons back to health. Pigeons are sky rats.
Yeah.
I hate to tell people this. There's a million pigeons out there. But she's been handing out business cards in Vegas. Says, if you see these birds, just feed them until I get there. I'm only 3 miles away and I'll trap them. I totally get that. Like I said, if the hats are glued on the pigeons, it's shitty.
Or if in some way.
If they're not, just let it be hilarious.
If it poses some risk to them, I could definitely see it. Like if it could, choke them somehow or whatever. But from the pictures I saw, it didn't look like it. But I don't know. Maybe.
No. That's what the lady said. It's like, will it impede their flight? Will it attract predators? Well, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because somebody be like,
will it get it more pigeon pussy, flashy pigeon hat?
Right.
What? Ting, 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 ting.
I just can't. Yeah, you just picture the Discovery Channel or Animal Planet, feature, on the hatted pigeon and how they have a much higher
cowboy hatted pigeon of Vegas.
Right, they have a much higher success mating number than the non-hatted pigeons,
Wouldn't it be great if they found out that it's not actually somebody putting the hats on the pigeons, it's the pigeons themselves?
That would be
this
so
hat looks
funny.
dope. Put it on.
That would be so amazing. I wish that could be what's happening. That would be so great. Or that there's just
incredible.
Or like that one pigeon puts a hat on another pigeon, like to help each other out to get the hats.
Yeah, for sure, because they don't have stupid thumbs and stuff.
Right? Yeah, you just need a little. You just adjust it so it sits right. You don't want to look like an idiot.
Well, yeah, you got. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get the sun getting in his eyes and crap.
Right.
I mean, geez.
Oh man, I know. When I first read this, I had the same thought as you, though. Because I was like, just let it go. And I was like, well, I guess if there is a chance this could impede them in some way or make them targets or something, then maybe, let's not do that. But
right. Exactly. I mean, the only other one I really got here, and it's just kind of a throwaway story, was, I don't know how realistic it is, but some woman caught her boyfriend cheating on him because of a stupid Fitbit.
Oh, that's a sports reporter that happened to.
Is it?
It is. She posted about it on.
There you go, NFL correspondent.
I saw it cycling on Twitter.
Yeah,
someone else posted something about someone cheating, and then she goes, "At least you didn't find out via Fitbit or something like that."
Yeah, because I didn't even know you could sync Fitbits. Apparently, you can now.
Yeah.
So you can support each other, yay! And that's how he got caught. Is his 4 a.m. activity level was elevated, and she's like, "Bitch, you're not Peloton riding at 4 a.m. or whatever."
Might have been. You don't know. Yeah, she probably
maybe.
didn't know. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the commercials. You want, I mean, let's be honest. Would you rather drop 2 pounds and over to Space Feeder by doing Peloton or by slinging dick?
Both. That's the answer.
Yes. Yeah, the correct answer is both.
Yeah. With the live camera thing on. Yeah.
Well, of course. Naturally.
I just stream Pornhub on mine. I don't deal with the training class.
Oh, yeah. They that was one of the things they didn't have is the old, Peloton screen use.
Yep. Oh, we got one more thing that Dev actually mentioned to us it was right after I believe we posted last episode. Remember the sweater that got pulled down?
It. The what?
There was a sweater that had like Santa doing lines of coke on it, or was it a snowman? Whatever it was.
It was Santa. Of all the cutting up, chopping lines in front of him.
Like, how in the hell did anyone think that was going to be received okay?
I have no idea. Like, for sure, a lot of people got fired.
I would think
that was all over the internet.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but you can't go, oh, well, it's just snow, because it's like, no, it looks like cocaine. Like, doesn't matter if it is snow. It could be sugar. I don't care what it is. It looks like cocaine, and that's all it's going to be.
Santa's got crazy eyes on the sweater.
Right. I mean, listen, we all know Santa needs a little something to get him through, but, yeah. Here's the next question.
I mean,
would you wear the sweater?
Santa does sound like a Coke story. Like, man, I bet you we can do all the gifts to all the kids in one night.
Let's just finish this up, and then let's go. We're like, okay.
You guys hear that? Shh. All right, I'll probably just the elves, man. I don't know.
Like, what else, dude? There's nobody else here but you and I. Dude's sitting in a recliner. He's sitting in his recliner, and he's, calling out the reindeer names. Oh, man. Did you see, or have you seen, there's one of the ugly Christmas sweaters, which I'm basically now, like, I'm all for, like, if you're going to an ugly sweater party, start wearing just a regular sweater. And if you don't win, pitch the biggest fit ever. Because everybody's wearing the other sweaters, so technically, you're wearing the ugliest sweater there, because it's just plain.
I mean, it's true. Ugly sweaters have become, like, just a Christmas sweater now.
Right. Now, I saw one that I was like, boy, if I wore sweaters, I'd really have to get myself one of these. Because it had a T-Rex on it, wearing a sweater, but it had the sleeves, like, way down its arms. Because it has little arms.
That's pretty awesome.
So if you put regular size sleeves on it, they would hang way over the end of its hands. Claws, whatever. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But generally I'm in anti-Christmas sweaters camp. I mean, I guess I really always kind of have been, but I'm back in that camp. I dug them for a while, but now it's just too much. So sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm done with it. I never started it, but I'm done with it.
Like, if I could, I have a Christmas sweater that's packed, and I'm kind of like, man, because it's just like green for a reindeer on it. I never bought one of the quote-unquote ugly ones. Yeah. But, like, today I wore my old man Thor sweater.
Yeah.
With this elf shirt that I bought from Five Below, and I'm like, this is the perfect Christmas outfit.
Yeah, right.
So,
fair enough.
I always look at the ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
I think the only one I would possibly buy is like the Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animals, or one of the Die Hard ones.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, other than the T-Rex one.
Yeah.
T-Rex.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because T-Rex.
Right. So.
I mean, T-Rex.
Yep. All right, well, let's do, I guess let's recap our Q of the W's that we have here, I guess, then.
All right.
Quick.
Well, yeah, I guess we got to go wait to the Wayback Machine.
Yep.
Because our buddy Philip here, he answered the Advent calendar full. Which one would you do? And he wants an Advent calendar of different types of mustard.
I could see that, as long as
I would be down for that.
You know what I would really be down for is if I had some nice soft pretzels to try with a lot of it, or some sausage. Who was it that mentioned the meat, the different cured meats or whatever? Like, give me a meat Advent calendar and a mustard one.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
We'll try them together, right?
Like, why do you have 3 different Advent calendars? Because it's delicious.
Right. All right. Fluffy Bunny Ash.
That's the only one from the Wayback they got.
Okay. Fluffy Bunny Ash also said that the Advent calendar one, She said she feels like she's already had all the advent calendars, basically. She's had chocolate, gummy candy, Lego, Funko, Playmobil, in quotes, or in parentheses, fuck off, Tony, Playmobil is awesome, end quote. Play-Doh, makeup, a charm bracelet one, lotions, bubble bath toiletries, jam, cereal, snacks. She even had a booze one before. And she has one that's just a bunch of little drawers, and her partners just fill it with whatever trinkets they want. So she's gotten some gift quality items that way before. She says she has had 8 calendars this year, so I don't think there's any that I'd want I haven't already found and had.
Holy crap! One, I am in we're not worthy. We're not worthy. I bow before the advent calendar knowledge here.
Yeah. Dude, she goes hard at Christmas, man. She's working like expert level. Yeah. I mean, if this was Diablo, she's playing on whatever the hardest level is, the one that most of us will never ever get to, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not mad at it.
Nope. So yeah, that's what she's got for that. So that's the last of the old ones.
I'm still not sold on Playmobil though. Just being honest.
Well, you can fight that out with her sometime. Like we'll just tie, we'll tie you two together via a long rope, and you can just fight it out.
Oh, Texas strap match.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
So all right. So last week we had the question that was from our pal Garrett. That was if you can only listen to 5 podcasts for the rest of your life, what would they be? And it was not it wasn't necessarily supposed to be like the 5 best podcasts you think are out there, but what 5 would you listen to forever? And I made some qualifications for myself last week as to why I would not listen to certain ones, because like Hardcore History was one, and just because I wouldn't get an episode frequently enough, so that one I would probably leave out.
Right.
Fluffy Bunny Ash says, she said if I were only to listen to 5 podcasts for the rest of my life, I'd need to find 2 more podcasts. She said she's really been dropping off her listening lately. And there's not many that she always listens to anymore. So she's also including video podcasts, which I have no problem with. That would have been, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, she listed Salty Language because she wanted the bonus points.
Naturally.
Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling, which is one of my favorites. OSW, which stands for Old School Wrestling Review. That's a video podcast. She said the Triple Jump Gaming podcast. And for a 5th one, she says Myths and Legends because it's the only other one she still listens to regularly.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, let's see. I know I got more here. Do you have any from this one?
I do. And plus, I have to throw in mine.
Right, I have to do mine
well.
too. Yeah, I figured we'd read them and then do ours on this one.
Oh, shit. Stupid Facebook is loading the data again.
Okay, well, in the meantime...
Stupid Facebook.
Dev says, in no particular order, Factually, which is the guy Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything. It's his new podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Salty Language, because he's a good man. Reveal.
He's a good man.
Planet Money, which I also dig. And Up First. Those are his 5.
Fair enough.
And I also have Cheetos here. Do you want me to go ahead and do his too?
Oh, I got it. It finally reloaded the stupid face page.
All right, go on.
It's also our man Philip.
Okay.
He put, because he's a good boy, Salty Language.
Right.
Effectively Wild, the Kansas City Baseball Vault.
Okay.
The Joe Rogan Experience, and the Ringer MLB Show.
Okay. I also have to point out, I totally forgot to promote this the way I was going to. So I may still do that and then read more, in the weeks following. But Cheeto Bandito says, because again, he's a good boy, and, we kind of know where he lives. Salty Language. No. Hobie, which I don't know why, but I kid. Daft Pod. which, for those who don't know, I'm sorry, Hobie is a History of Bad Ideas podcast. Dap Pod is Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks podcast. Cult Classic Horror and The Crazy Life. And then he says he's going to Hobie it. And number 6 is Graphic Novice, if it will ever fucking return. I miss listening to those dudes. Which is fair.
That's hilarious.
Because if I were to do that on my list, it would either... I'd almost have to like put 2 Hobie answers, which would be Graphic Novice or the Semantic show. Jeez.
Semantic?
Yes. I had to be careful. I had to make sure I got that right.
Fucking ain't right.
Yeah, old Doc Thirst.
Fucking ain't right.
Helping us out.
Right.
Good man.
Good man.
So those are the ones I got. Do you have any others, or
all right?
Are we up to us now?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I just have mine now.
Okay.
To be fair. Well, I would have to go Joe Rogan Experience because I like the fact that if I'm on a desert island, I can get some like knowledge dropped in my face, and then also some of my favorite comedians.
That's fair.
Yeah, Radiolab because I love Radiolab.
Yeah.
I know Hardcore History didn't make your cut, but I'd have to go with it because once it drops, it's like an audiobook.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
although I don't know how I'm getting updates on Desert Island, but who gives a shit?
Well, it wasn't on a desert island. It was just, just.
I thought it was like a desert island situation.
Well, no, it's just what 5 would you listen to? So that's all.
Fair enough. I would have to go with, you know what, dude? Because I've been listening to that for a long time.
You sure have.
And it feels weird if I don't listen to it.
That's understandable.
And I'm a big fan of Bobby Kelly. And I would have to also go to the Tim Ferriss show for the Knowledge Bombs.
Yeah, that one was one I kind of considered too. And it's weird because the shows that I always run to first, like if all my podcasts update and I'm like, all right, what am I going to listen to? And that's kind of, I started there. And, I gave the first one last week for mine, which was Hidden Brain, because I love behavioral kind of podcasts and stuff. So that one is my first one. And The Moth is my second one because I really love the storytelling podcasts. And it was tough because I was trying to decide between The Moth and Risk. And it's a really, really tough decision for me, but and honestly, I think, you could put either one in that spot and I'd be happy. But I think I'm going to go with The Moth because I do tend to find myself going to that one first between the two.
Fair enough.
So that's 2. Oh, shoot. I wish I would have written these down. I may
teach you, Brian.
I may miss something or leave something off here. That happens. But shit, I can't think of. Wow, I'm totally blanking now on the next one I was gonna say. Wow. Yeah, I'm just.
Damn it, Brian.
Oh, Marty and Sarah. Duh. Marty and Sarah love wrestling because even though they don't do like hardcore breakdowns of the week in wrestling and all this for the most part, like they cover it, but they're more about it's a really positive pro wrestling podcast. Like they have fun. They do characters and kind of like little skit things. So, that's easily one of my favorite podcasts. So that one definitely. I was trying to think of one the other day when I was putting some thought into this. I was trying to think of something that would give me, like you were saying with like comedians and stuff, because like Rogan's too long of a show for me. Like for me to listen to one episode of Rogan would take me so long. So I just can't do it, So honestly, I think the best one I can come up with that really fills my comedy want is the Chip Chipperson podcast because they have different
fair enough,
different people on there,
comedians on and stuff,
right? And it would have been the roast battle that Comedy Central puts up, but I haven't seen a new episode in a long time, so I don't know if that's even still around. Because I love the roast stuff,
Right.
you know, and you get a whole bunch of different comedians that way. But, so I'm up to what? 4? Yeah. Shit, what was that 5th one? I don't know why I didn't write these down. Clearly, I'm not a smart man.
Nah, it happens.
Oh,
You'll be all right.
duh. The 5th one for me would be Philosophize This. Because whenever he puts a new episode up, I listen to it like immediately. And I've been listening to his show since the beginning. So, and
In the beginning.
yeah. If you kind of have any, it's a really good introductory philosophy podcast. Like if you ever have any want for that,
Right.
it's a very good show, and it's short. It's about half an hour ish a week. So he gives you a good taste of something without like hitting a point where you're like, I got to turn this off. It's too much. Like, again, I love hardcore history.
Enough of this.
Yeah, I love hardcore history, but I have to stop it when I'm listening to it generally mostly because it's 4 hours most of the time. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you have to eat and have meals.
Right. So there you go. Those are mine. And, it was tough to eliminate some of them, like Song Exploder or The Sporkful. There's a whole bunch of podcasts I really, really, really enjoy. So,
Right.
But yeah. And honestly, if you ask me tomorrow, I might change my mind on that list. Just based on what I'm kind of feeling at the time.
Yeah, I was just sitting there trying to think of like what could I be happy with for the rest of my life.
I was thinking of ones that I've sat and binged, and that's why there aren't ones like The Hilarious World of Depression, which I love, is a great podcast, but there's some heavy stuff in there, and it's tough. And that's also, I think, part of why I went with The Moth over Risk, because even though The Risk has a lot of, I'm sorry, not The Risk. Risk. Risk has a lot of kind of great stories, but there's also some weird stuff on there. But anyway, yeah. So that was a fun topic. I like that one. That one took a lot of thought to really dig into, though.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah. So. But yeah, good one. Like I said, I'm going to try to promote that in some Twitter rooms and stuff and see if I can get a little more traction for us to, maybe hear some more answers.
Yeah, why not, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because there's other ones, too, like, that I've really been digging lately, like, I can't think of the name of it. Dang it. There's one from Planet Money called The Indicator, where each day they do like a 10-minute podcast about something that's going on in the economy. There's a science one that's the same kind of thing, and it's like 10 minutes. And it's really, I've gotten a lot of really interesting stuff out of there, because I've always dug stuff that lets you, anyway. The TED Radio Hour is another one I probably would have thrown in. See what I mean? It's like I could easily I could have done 10.
There's so many.
Yeah. So but I like podcasts that a lot of times sometimes don't give you like that. They'll give you a little snippet of something, and then I'll go off on my own and search for more. I've always liked that kind of stuff. Even when I was a little kid, I liked things that would be like basically, if you want to find out more about it, visit your local library.
Yeah, no late fees, baby.
Right? Woo! All right, let's do that thing. Dude Mountain.
The last week of Dude Mountain.
Is it officially?
Isn't that crazy? The last week of Dude Mountain.
Well, really, if it is,
there you go.
I was going to say if it's the final week, we should just wait till next week and do the final.
You're right, and get the final toll.
Yeah, because there's a game playing right now, and there's tomorrow, so let's just do that. All right, well,
yeah, you're right. We should just do it next week.
I got one last thing here I want to do. And
all right.
I bought this thing on, was it Kickstarter, I think it was? It's a card game called Game That Song. And it's a deck of cards basically meant for like, a party situation. And
right.
the way this is supposed to be played, I'm looking at the instruction card for it. It says, basically, first make sure you have an internet connection and a way to stream music, which we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it a little different. And then you go to GameThatSong.com and click on how to play for all the details. But what I'm going to do with this is, like, whatever the prompt is, I'll just read the prompt, and then I want us to give, like, an answer for it, kind of a thing, to see, just almost like it's word association more than anything for us. And then maybe,
right, fair enough.
Kind of like a QoftheW situation where I open it up to where anybody can answer, if they have something for it. Because it'd be kind of neat to come up with songs that we've never heard before, So
yeah, for sure.
The prompt on this week's is a song to play about being crazy. And I got mine real quick on that.
A song to play about being crazy?
Yeah.
All right, I got mine, I guess.
Okay. What's
I'm going
yours?
Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, nice. I like that. Mine is I got to make sure it's the right name for it, but I believe the song is You May Be Right. And the version, damn it, of course my computer's going to run slow right now. Son of a bitch.
Well, hell yeah. Oh yeah, Brian. Why wouldn't it, right?
And I was going to say it's by Billy Joel. But
oh, okay.
The version that I liked the most was actually on, I can't remember what it was. It was on some video we used to play when I worked at the video stores. And it was him and Garth Brooks doing a duet of it. And it's just the energy, and it was fun. Plus, it's, when you listen to the song, it's about being crazy. So
that's fair.
Yeah, a little bit. So, yep, that's mine. So, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I just thought it'd be kind of fun. I think this could actually be extra fun, like when we have, like when we do the enthusiasts, we could end with one of these two, kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So, all right. So, yeah, send us your suggestion. And, unlike normal, like where we're like, oh, you can send us, like, don't go crazy with this. Don't send us like 19. Also, how did I not say Stone Cold Crazy?
Oh, that would have been a good one.
Right? Maybe one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
But anyway, send us yours. And if you want to get a copy of this game, check them out. They're called Game That Song. And the game, I think it's available, like I said, on their website at GameThatSong.com. And I don't know, probably on Amazon, I would imagine, and whatever. So
probably, yeah.
I'll mention them
for sure. Craigslist.
I'll mention them in the show notes so that there's Craigslist. So yeah, all right. So there we go. I guess that's our show, right?
I think that's a program.
Sweet.
We did it, guys. We did it.
We did it.
Yay.
All right. Head over to saltylanguage.com where you can find all the links to the stuff we talked about in this show. You can find links to past episodes. You can go check out the enthusiast episodes we've done. If you haven't checked those out, go check those out.
Yeah, stop being a jerk. Go check them out.
Right. And you can find the links to the networks we're part of, like the Tangibound Network. And, of course...
Danger!
Wash your ass.
Danger!
Wash your ass. Danger Entertainment Network. Go check
the old
that.
Watch Your Ass Entertainment Network.
That's going to be mine. I'm going to start the Wash Your Ass Entertainment.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. Right. So if you want to reach out to the show, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony. And, of course, we're on the Instagrams. We're on the Snap. I think I'm going to try to do a little more Snapchat stuff again. We're on the Snapchats.
All right.
And Facebook can die.
And all the links are over on
You know what I have to say about Facebook, Brian?
What's that?
Disqualified!
That's what I got to say about Facebook.
It is pretty McClunky.
Yeah.
Make sure I get one in this week, right?
McClunky.
Yeah. Right.
Stupid McClunky.
Yep. All right, well...
Fucking thing sucks!
That I totally agree with. All right. So I guess until next week, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Like, I had some, but it's gone, so stay salty.
And don't forget to check on your curriculum, I guess.
Curriculum, wash your ass.
Remember, here you go. Here's the two things to take away from this episode: wash your ass, and go and keep chasing that Cosmic Chris money.
Cosmic Chris money, bro.